Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on the 24th of September. It's Thursday and it's grey and wet outside today after all those wonderful weather reports from Stephen, and I'm sure we'll get a weather report from how it is up there in Auckland soon. I'll probably be jealous down here in Hamilton, but there you go. In the news today, Indians win their first game. NRL expansion team is muted. Rob Howley is back from his gambling ban, as well as Qantas ending their 30-year sponsorship of the Wallabies. The Nuggets pull one back, and we have an update on that men's netball series that we sort of muted yesterday. That's your news for this morning. So let's kick off with the with that netball story then. And yes, yesterday we were talking about the fact there will be a New Zealand series, and there is. It's going to be from October the 21st to October the 24th. So yes, they could still fit in that later series against England as well. In the 4-day series, we'll see the men go up against the Silver Ferns, a New Zealand A side, and the New Zealand under 21s, all down there in Palmerston North from October the 21st to October the 24th. Has to get some netball in for the Silver Ferns and those other sides as well. So if you're down in Palmy and they let people in, then pop along and watch the netball. I'm going to hand you over now to Ashwin, who's going to take us through our cricket update.
Good morning, Paul, and good morning to all our viewers and listeners on the interweb. And yes, the Indians have won their first game. The Mumbai Indians have chalked up their first win of the IPL with a 49-run win over the Kolkata Knight Riders. Batting first after being sent in, the Indians racked up 195 for 5, with Rohit Sharma, the main contributor, with 80 of 54 balls. His partnership with Surya Kumar Yadav laying the foundation for the big total, Yadav scoring 47 of 28. Narayan was at his economical best for the Knight Riders with just 22 runs coming off his 4 overs, but Pat Cummins went for a few. He went for 49 off just 3 overs. In reply, the Knight Riders never really got going, losing a couple of early wickets and ending up on 149 for 9. And as we go to air, the England women's team is playing the West Indian women's team. And after being sent in, England batting first have made their way through to 151 for 8 after being in a bit of trouble at 96 for 6. But there was some lower order hitting that actually got them through. No standout innings for the English, but Beaumont, Jones, Glenn making it into the 20s. The West Indies is currently underway in their innings, and they are on 29 for 1. They still require further 123 runs off 89 balls. Currently, Deandra Dotton in, and she's on 24. She's been doing a bit of hitting of late, and Stephanie Taylor, who's just come to the crease on 1. And the role of the Black Caps batting coach appears to be between two candidates. Not 100% confirmed, and neither confirmed nor denied. Heinrich Milan, the current Auckland Aces coach, is possibly one of them. But confirmed applicant is Luke Ronke. The successful candidate will be taking over the position left vacant by Peter Fulton. And finally, the plans for crowds on hold in England. With a spike in the coronavirus, plans are likely to be put on hold to allow spectators back into the ground. It was hoped that the stadiums would start being filled up by October 1, or from October 1, I should say. The ECB was looking forward to allowing crowds back into the grounds for what was left of their county season, and also possibly for those women's matches if they would have happened in time. But that, Paul, is our cricket news for today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ashwin, for that cricket update. Quickly moving over onto Snow Sports NZ. This Saturday, the Remarkables slope style will be happening on the 5th of October at Cardonia. That's right, and Cardonia will be hosting the New Zealand Junior Freestyle and Nationals as well. So keep it here for your Snow Sports news, and we will bring you results of those after the weekend. I'm going to hand you over to Stephen for our weather update, travel report, and maybe also some birthdays from Auckland.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Paul. I got to say, the traffic is pretty clear here in Auckland. A good run across the stretch of the two motorways that I've been on this morning. So that is good news. The other good news is it's a very good start weather-wise to Auckland as well. Sun out this morning, but we are expecting a high of 18 degrees today. Currently 15 at the minute, but we are expecting some precipitation during the day, but that won't dampen the spirits of our birthday celebrants today, who are a former Crusaders outside back who made his debut earlier this year for Wales, a former age group opening batsman who went on to become a bowling all-rounder in the Black Caps, and finally an Olympian born in South Africa. And that's where we start our birthdays this morning. Alexis Pritchard, born this day, the 24th of September 1983 in Belleville, Western Cape, South Africa, is a South African-born New Zealand boxer. On the 5th of August 2012, she became the first New Zealand woman to win an Olympic bout when she beat Tunisia's Rim Joini in the round of 16. She moved to New Zealand at the age of 14 and originally took up boxing in 2003 to get fit. Alexis retired while still the New Zealand champion after failing to qualify for the Rio Olympics. Moving along, Duncan Astle. Todd Astle, born this day, the 24th of September 1986 in Palmerston North, is a New Zealand cricketer who plays for the New Zealand national cricket team. Astle began his cricket career as an opening batsman, representing New Zealand in the 2006 Under-19 Cricket World Cup, but over time, playing first-class cricket for Canterbury, he morphed into a bowling all-rounder. He made his Test cricket debut for New Zealand in 2012 in Sri Lanka, but did not play another international until 2015. He has since represented New Zealand in all three forms of the game, but hasn't been able to keep a consistent place in the team in any format because of regular injury problems and competition with other spin bowlers. In January 2020, Astle announced his retirement from first-class cricket to focus on limited overs cricket. And finally, Johnny McNicholl, born this day, the 24th of September 1990 in Christchurch, is a New Zealand rugby-born union player who plays as a winger or fullback for the Scarlets in the regional side in the Pro 14 League and the Wales national team. McNeill was a standout performer in the 2012 National Provincial Championships, hitting the top try scorer list with 10, 3 ahead of his nearest rival. His consistent ability to cross the line drew interest from, at that time, was the Blues coach John Kirwan, but McNicholl, who played his club rugby for Sydenham in the Christchurch Metro competition, opted to commit to the Crusaders. He was a member of the Crusaders Warriors training squad in 2012 and subsequently promoted to the senior squad for 2013. He made his cap debut for Wales on the 1st of February this year in the starting lineup for the Six Nations game against Italy, a game which they won 42-0. So happy birthday to Johnny McNicholl, also Todd Astle and Alexis Pritchard. Hope they all have a great day. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, Stephen. And over in the rugby, and yes, Qantas is ending its 30-year sponsorship deal with the Wallabies, and also removing financial support for the national cricket and soccer teams due to the coronavirus crisis. Clearly, and they've said, look, they're laying off people. They can't also be sponsoring the teams as well. They will still provide free flights and non-cash support for cricket and soccer. But yes, that long-standing sponsorship deal is going to stop. The rumours are that FMG will be stepping in to be the Wallabies sponsors, but let's wait and see who will be on the front of their jersey soon. Rob Howley, who used to be the assistant coach for Wales and who got banned for gambling, he had to step away from the Rugby World Cup last year. Has now been appointed, has served his betting ban and has been appointed as the assistant coach for Canada. It'll be so good luck to him over there. For those of you that aren't sure, his gambling was it was a an issue he had, rather than being an attempt to alter the results of any games. I'm going to hand you back now to Stephen for the sport that just keeps on giving. It's our NRL update.
Yeah, thanks again, Paul. Well, it's not giving us a lot of sport this morning, I've got to say. An expansion team is muted for the NRL, and of course, we check in on the two teams playing tonight. I don't know if we can get too excited about that. It's 14 taking on 16 this evening. But our story this morning, Brisbane are the dark horses to enter the $100 million race to be the 17th NRL team to join the NRL, and they're wanting Wayne Bennett to lead it. Now, Redcliffe Dolphins Club Chairman Bob Jones has declared the organisation is ready to become the NRL's next expansion team, and he already has a legendary coach in mind. Yesterday marked the official opening of the northern grandstand of Dolphin Stadium, and Jones took the opportunity to brand Redcliffe as NRL ready, with the new stadium complete and assets reported to be worth over $100 million. We are now NRL ready, and when I say ready, we are ready to go tomorrow if the NRL needs us, Jones said. The possibility of expansion is a hot topic in the league, and a second Brisbane team is a strong contender if the ARLC chairman, Peter V'landys, chooses to go down that path. Peter V'landys is certainly aware that the Dolphins are ready, and we will be meeting in the next little while. He said the NRL are not fully aware what we are capable of, but they will be soon. The now completed Dolphin Stadium can seat 10,000 people, while there is also standing room for 1,500. The new grandstand cost $6.5 million after a funding boost from the federal government and the Moreton Bay Regional Council. For 10 years, we have been building our infrastructure because of our strategic plan has always been to play rugby league at the highest level, Jones said. To do that, we recognised some time ago that you need to have assets, and that is what we have done. Wayne Bennett has previously backed Redcliffe's expansion, but declaring to the Courier Mail in February that Redcliffe is the way to go. They have for the NRL. Jones said if he is up for grabs, the Dolphins will certainly consider bringing Bennett over as the coach. Wayne obviously knows rugby league and has been a great coach for a long time, so you would be crazy not to talk to him, according to Jones. Well, I got my own thoughts on another team coming out of Queensland, because if you looked at the NRL table, two Queensland teams, well, obviously one's North Queensland, and of course the Broncos, who have struggled this year, they take on each other at Suncorp Stadium this evening at 10-10. So we're talking about the bottom placed team on the table, the Broncos, taking on the Cowboys that are sitting on 8 points. So it's an opportunity to resign for the Bulldogs for the Broncos to resign the Broncos to the bottom of the table. If you look at the other Queensland team, the Titans, well, they're sitting in 9th place, so they've been the best of the Queensland teams. So I'm not sure if they either have the depth in Queensland to have another team in the competition, but good luck to the Dolphins with their bid for this competition. Well, that's it for league news today. I'm going to go exit stage right out of here. Have a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with more birthdays, more traffic reports, more weather reports, and of course, more rugby league.
Thank you very much, Stephen. And yes, we'll definitely look forward to those traffic reports, the highlight of our day. Absolutely. And don't forget, folks, to get your weekly league fix, you can catch up on the Standoff Show that brought to us by Brad yesterday evening. Moving on then to cycling, and the World Road Race Championships kick off today with the women's time trial. And New Zealand will be represented by Michaela Harvey and Georgia Williams in the time trial. They'll be joined by Naomi Fisher-Black for the road race itself, which is in 2 days' time. Tomorrow, we'll see the men's time trial, where Patrick Bevin and Finn Fisher-Black will represent New Zealand. They'll be joined by George Bennett and Dion Smith for the road race, and that will be in 3 days' time. Yeah, I will bring you all the news from that and how our Kiwis go in the UCI Road World Championships. You have now started the day the best way. Oh, sorry, no, we have NBA news. I forgot. Yes, the Nuggets pulled one back over the Lakers, winning 114 to 106. They really took control of this game in the second and third quarters. And even though there was a 10-point comeback by the Lakers in that fourth quarter, it was all far too little, far too late. And yet the Nuggets pull one back, so it's now 2-1 in that series. As you will have heard on the basketball show with Daniel, which went on live on air on Tuesday evening, this really was a must-win game for the Nuggets. Coming back from 3-0 down in a series to win 4 games on the bounce is extremely difficult. And so, yes, that was a must-win game for the Nuggets there to pull back to 2-1 in that series. This evening, the other series, which is the Celtics versus the Heat, will be playing, and that's currently the Heat have a 2-1 lead in that series. You're now up to speed with all the important sports news. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. to help you start the day the best way, up to speed with all the important sports news.